Ah,
Hello, guys, and welcome back to the SRL Podcast. This episode, you have myself as always, Apollo. We've got Paperstream, Bonge, and Bradford this evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
hi.
Bonge is there, I'd like to say.
Sound like he's
Obviously,
deep
we
throating his
introduced
mic.
ourselves. Last week. But Brad, obviously, if you want to kind of introduce yourself to everyone, go ahead.
Thomas has already done it for me, so we can carry on.
Yep. What an absolute geezer. Bacardi Breezer. So, obviously, you are Season 2's champion of SVOR. Thomas, stay. But yeah, basically, what we're going to talk about this week is kind of similar to what we did last week, but obviously we've got the British race to be talking about, obviously the upcoming American Grand Prix as well, and then we can kind of talk about maybe next season in real life F1. So obviously we'll start off with the sprint race. I mean, it was enjoyable to watch the racing. On my end, and I think on Brad's end as well, it was very like laggy. Not like I wouldn't say laggy. I would say
My connection
like,
shit.
kind of-
There we go.
everyone was
jumping
kind of going in the pit lane and then out of the pit lane and then in the pit lane and all that kind of stuff. So we didn't know if that was happening on your guys' screens or it was happening on ours, but it was just so weird. I was just like, what on earth is going on? Like, I don't know like why it's doing it, or like, I mean, come on, it can't be like this all race, hopefully. And then it kind of seemed to have calmed down during the actual main race, which was pretty decent. There was a lot of battles, which is like very enjoyable from kind of the spectator's view. But yeah, I don't know if everyone else wants to kind of put their own kind of thing to it.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty smooth there, on like my end on the sprint race. I mean, I didn't see any of it until I watched the stream back. I was like, oh yeah, that was horrible, but I didn't see any of it. I just wanted to stay out. I didn't want to go in the pit anyway.
Mm.
And
I
then,
mean, we can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. But,
If you turn park for an A off, it should manage to turn it off. But I don't want to risk it, like try it in another race and it not work.
everybody gets disqualified.
Like everyone gets disqualified, and then you've got like Rich at the back, and he's like, yeah, he's won a race.
the absolute scenes.
God, bro.
Obviously, like I think it's going to be changing for like the next kind of couple of races. Like we're going to be, fucking hell. So it's going to be I think it's full qualifying, then a 5-lap race. So you won't have to pit, obviously. And then the top 10 get switched around.
Nice.
And then I think for Brazil it's going to be short qualifying, 25% race, and then obviously the top 10 they get switched around again, which I think will work better in a sense. I prefer like kind of longer sessions, but obviously from like a racing point of view, I guess it's probably not that enjoyable to like kind of do like 40 odd minutes, well, like it's like nearly an hour of qualifying, and then having to do like, what is it, like I say like a 25-minute race and then a 45-minute race. Like the whole stream yesterday was like over 2 hours long, which is normal for us, but when you're adding an extra 20 minutes on for the sprint race, it does get a little bit tiring. So it's either we kind of put it back like until like maybe quarter 2, or like like 8:45, or we try and do a way that we can. I don't know. It's very confusing.
I think another idea, which is pretty, which kind of keeps the attention of, what I notice in this community is motherfuckers got a short attention span, is just move to a short quality any freaking way and then go into the 5-lapper, and then your overall investment actually could be potentially shorter than even doing a full quality in just a 50% race. Like, because what is it, 18 minutes for short?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just do that, go out however you want, whatever you want to do, whatever, and then 5-minute break, you're into a 5-lapper, which on the longest track is going to be done without any safety car, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, and then 5-minute break, and you're right into the race, and just call it good. So, I don't know.
You do put a pretty decent point, to be fair. I'm not even going to lie, like, I just want kind of things to go well, because like from our end, like it just didn't look as good as I was expecting. But obviously this is kind of like a trial run, so no one kind of knew how things were gonna go until you're literally kind of on the track, kind of doing your own kind of bits. So like massive kind of congratulations to everyone that kind of did it, because I mean, like I said, from my kind of point of view, it wasn't that great. But I mean, I'm guessing I would prefer. I don't get me wrong. I would keep it. I would just kind of just change the way we do things. Obviously, that isn't all just kind of down to me. I want like I said, I think in last week's podcast, I want drivers to be more involved with situations that are happening, which is why I kind of said, right, we'll do this, we'll do that, and then at the end of the season, that's when we'll kind of do that kind of do the poll and see what kind of everyone else has to say, and then we can kind of get an idea of what kind of everyone wants. If it was just to me personally, then I would probably go with probably the short qualifying, the 25% race, and then the full race after. Obviously not the full race, but the main race. It's kind of, in a way, the race itself is kind of the same as qualifying. It's kind of similar kind of time.
If what Bradford was talking about, if there's a way to in the 25% or whatever to turn off the pit, if that's a way in the round, if a couple of us get in there and experiment real quick and see if that's actually a thing, that would be the best, because I could have went on one stint. You know what I mean? So if there was a way to turn that off, that's the spirit of what it should be. I mean, that's literally what they're doing in real life. So it's I'm all down. You don't even have to have a poll. Fuck what they say. That would be the perfect way to do it. Just fucking the full quality or short quality, whichever one you think is time, and then go right into a 25% where you don't, and just turn. Because I mean, how much of an advantage are you really getting by having that on for that sprint race? You know what I mean? I mean, it's, and then technically, do you even have that on when you just jump right into the 50%, or you have to have it off to set your, whatever your fucking. So it's just have that off any fucking way, So I don't know. I'm just talking.
I hope there is a way that we can sort of turn it off, because that would make it a lot easier. I know you can obviously do it in F2 because it's a mandatory thing, but whether you can actually do it with F1 cars, because you would think with the new rules coming in for this year, you would think that Codemasters and EA would then kind of implement that into the actual game, but from kind of my point of view, they just haven't. I'm hoping they kind of do the same way for F2 when they obviously have the update out for this year's cars, whether they actually do the 2 sprint races and then the feature race. I don't know what on earth they're going to do with that. It's going to be kind of a whole new kind of ballpark, really, which I'm hoping they do kind of, I'm just hoping they can do what they can with the resources, and obviously with EA's help, they surely should have the resources to kind of do what they kind of need to do. You would think, but we all have to kind of wait and find out ourselves, I would imagine, which hopefully won't be too long, because obviously we've only got to wait until next month until we get the new track Jeddah, and then obviously I think the F2 cars come out next month as well. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nice. Yeah, I think so.
So, and then obviously we'll be restarting F2, which is hopefully going to be interesting. I'll obviously be commentating once again, because that's all I seem to bloody do around here. But we move. Yeah.
See, maybe if you went out of your way to find a commentator, you wouldn't have these problems, would you?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, but I don't really want to drive F2, because F2 sucks.
That sounds like a you problem then.
Sounds like, yes it is. Right, anyways, we'll go on to the next. Actually, no, we've still got to talk about that. Obviously, what the fuck, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Obviously, Pikachu is the best Pokemon, hands down.
You knobhead.
Worse like it's ditto.
Talking about Pokemon now. Standard.
My Charizard.
Come on, we haven't got all night.
That's what
I
she
don't know
said.
what I was talking about. To be fair, with the Britain race, it was a fairly good race from my end. Obviously, Bond, you're back on the podium, so
Podium in quotation marks. Lovely 3
Yeah.
points from that podium. Rather than
He's
15.
already got a
Still
bad
on
back,
podium.
and he's got an operation in place for said bad back.
Yeah, because you two have paid for it by the sounds
Yeah.
of it.
Me,
Brad has.
I phoned up in between the lobby when they were changing the grid, and you've got an appointment in 2 weeks, so you're gonna have to put up with 1 more week of the bad back. It's gonna be Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Just
Right.
to give you a heads up.
Right.
You're not
That was
supposed to eat.
that was the most pointless bit I've ever heard in my entire life.
That was pretty dreadful.
They also
That's
said that
stupid.
you need to go and get some laxative to clean your bowels out because you might shake yourself
Can
in the
you
operation.
can you stop?
Just stop. Please.
No, they all need to know.
They don't need to know.
The second you try and do
Yeah.
something professional with Brad, this happens.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, he wasn't really talking on.
Yeah, so
No,
I was gonna say,
because
we
my
can't really do
internet
much
connection, my internet connection was just as good as Adam's on a good day. So what am I supposed to do?
Get better internet.
What he said.
That is a point.
Oh, hi Thomas.
I didn't
Next
mind the sprint
topic.
race format. It was, I don't know, it was different, I suppose, but just kind of elaborating on what Julian was saying earlier with getting the shorter weekends in place, and we talked about it earlier, Kieran, about a shorter calendar. If that then became
Yeah.
the norm for the league, because 60% of the league are time trial merchants, 30% are idiots, and there's 10% which is me and Julian, who are actually skilled.
Wow.
But
shots
you don't
fired
really
right
have
now.
the attention span to do all 22 or 23 races, full quali, now adding in sprint races, whether they be 25. Like, 5 lap is not bad, it's like just under 10 minutes. But, you know, when...
I mean, not
They
everyone
have
could
to,
be the next Lewis Hamilton, or if you really like him, the next Max Verstappen.
But with
Imagine.
that would be a suggestion as they put forth to the admins, maybe the drivers, but personally I'd just say literally just implement it and see how it goes for a season. Because we initially started with short quali back in season 1, round 1.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
was short quali. And then each weekend lasts literally just over an hour. So
Right, yeah.
you know, like maybe hour and 20 is the maximum kind of like time frame, because like counting for safety cars and weather. so maybe 90 minutes. Like, I'd say try short quali again. Maybe like we said with the sprint races, that's being done for Brazil. But if people like short quali again, that could be looked into for next season.
Yeah, for sure. Like I just think it's exciting when you have the right group of people full quali, but when you I guess my perspective, and I can't run the league. I'm not saying I'm doing any better than anybody else or anything like that, but just an opinion. You kind of you got to take, in my opinion, a little bit more of a firmer fucking, fist with the thing, a firmer stance. And then also, like, this is just what it is, because you have a lot of children and a lot of motherfuckers who they're going to change their opinions week to week based on how their race went. They're not mature enough. You're really opening a poll up to people, and I don't care who gets triggered by this, who can't even fucking, put on a clean pair of underwear in the morning, let alone run a league. So why open it up to a bunch of children? Just say, this is what our league is. This is what it is. You either want to be a part of it or you don't. And trust me, there's a lot of people who like WOR, right? You see how they are, and they, at least in my tier, I don't know if it's changed for other tiers, it's short quality and a 50%. That's it. That's what it is. That's what we're running. And if you want to add in a fucking sprint race, then hey, it's your league. Do what you got to do. But these dudes over here, man, like, I've noticed more arguments happen when you try to be nice. I've seen you. You are one of the nicest league owners ever, and it ends up more chaotic because these guys, fuck them. Just make it what you want it to be, and we're gonna show the fuck up. And if they don't, they were gonna probably quit any fucking way. But they're gonna show up, bro. You know what I mean? So whatever it is you want to do.
Before, to be fair.
Huh?
We've had that before where we've changed things and then people don't like it and then they're gone within
right
2 days after things have been changed.
Right.
Which isn't my problem. I mean, I'm
we
not
won't go there.
I mean, it's a podcast. You can talk whatever you want, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, I've only created this league so like people can enjoy racing. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and babysit fucking everybody. Personally, I mean, I'm having to babysit. Like, when people add, like, we've actually had no, like, people like adding anything into like the stewards this week, which is good for me because then I ain't got to fucking sit there and fucking tell everyone not to stop fucking crying like I had to do last time and the time before that.
Right.
I mean, we had some like proper like fucking don't want to talk about it, but fucking like people complaining that fucking decisions were made. Not my fucking problem. Rules are rules at the end of the day.
Right.
You probably know who we're talking about, but I'm not gonna be fucking changing rules for one person because they can't fucking drive. It's not my problem.
Right. And that's
and at
what,
the end of the day, like we've all been there. Like, I've been there where I've only just started off league racing, where I've used every assist possible. Bonge has been there where he's been using assists. Obviously, he doesn't use them now. Obviously, the same with you, Junior. You probably use some sort of assist when you were starting league racing. The same as back. We're all got to start somewhere. But I'm not saying like people who still use assists now are shit. But I mean, I use assists. I know you will, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, this league is kind of for everybody. Like, there is some rules that you have to kind of abide with, like some sort of assist. Like, obviously you can't use like automatic braking because obviously the game obviously sticks to the racing line, and you'll be braking about 100 meters too early or 200 meters too early. So that's going to cause like collisions. If it was my way, then I would be taking a lot more assists off, like especially like gearing, because I mean, I know in real life that you can have automatic cars and all that, but when has ever F1 ever had like automatic gearing? I don't remember if they ever have or they haven't. I don't know, but
no, they don't.
Exactly. Like, you don't have it, so why have it in their so-called their simulator, which obviously is nowhere near a simulator. Because if you want a simulator, then you go to a set course for iRacing.
Yeah, I think that,
or you go to Western.
On Arbor on that is an assist that I think has to come off, because very, very few racing leagues, real and otherwise. Like you look at any series out there. Even series where really the way they race, they probably don't have to shift that often. There's no automatics. I mean, maybe like some truck mud racing or something. Like the off-road trophy trucks. I think they are, but whatever. But I mean, anything that's on pavement, I don't know of offhand any major racing series and feeder series where you're allowed to have an automatic. Period. And so if you want any level of realism, once again, many people in our general, hobby love to whine about, they are the first ones to whine about Codemasters isn't realistic, yet you're running all the assists. Why don't you try going scorched earth, be in a cockpit, turn every assist off, and then you let me know how realistic the game feels to you. Come in here with realistic the game is when you're not even running it in the more scorched earth settings that they have. Why don't we have 100% raise with 100% quality, no ghosting, everybody locked into a cockpit, no assist, simulation damage, then let me know how realistic the game is. Then let's compare it to iRacing, but don't complain to me when you're a fake-ass fucking champion with fucking assist on. I'll leave it at that.
Someone finally put it into words. Someone finally did it.
I
Oh,
wonder who's that saying that.
me. Mate, every single champion has used assists. I don't know about
Exactly, and then they're the same
See-
people who whine about the game not being realistic. I'm like, hold on, how does this make even... Explain this to a dumb American. Go ahead, explain it to me. How does it make sense? Go ahead.
It doesn't. It
Please.
honestly doesn't, mate. You fucking children, mate. Don't make sense. But this is my problem with assists, right? I don't have a problem with people using them, because they're new to the game. Fair
Right.
enough. That's fair play. You do you, son. If you've only been racing fucking 20 minutes or a month, you can use all the fucking assists. Oh, I don't give a fuck. You're trying. Well done. Good for you. But if you're gonna fucking sit there, you're at the top of the standings, and you run the most broken assists possible because the assists are not balanced in any way, shape, or form. ABS, traction, and line are so broken. Traction now is been fine. Traction, zero traction is now pretty much the way to go, to be quick. But that ABS needs to be nerfed to be on the fate. It needs to be destroyed.
Could just turn it off altogether.
Can we just backtrack to before the season started and when the game happened? There was an event that our man Paperstream put on for no assists. All the people that took part in that race have no excuse to have assists on because they all done a 50% race and short quali with no assists. So therefore, whoever's using no assists now from that race, good on them.
Yep.
But if you're still using them, turn them off, drop your ovaries, and turn them off.
There's always ways where you can turn it off without anyone complaining. Like, I have something to announce nearer to the end of the podcast, but at the end of the day, people need to start learning because it's going to get to the point where this league could potentially be going to a no assist league.
And
When I mean that, I mean probably within a couple of seasons, or maybe even on the next game, depending obviously if it's on obviously the kind of old generations of Xbox.
yeah, I think they'll do one more game.
Hopefully,
on it.
because
I'm gonna put the Discord up, see who's crying about that whole no assist fiasco.
But
I mean, there's only one
it's
person
easy,
watching, so-
it's look, I get it. There's a lot of elements. You got to understand that we have a lot of children too and stuff like that.
Stop.
And what happens is you're a certain speed level, and you're gonna have to take a step backwards to learn it. And no one wants to take the time, especially the children, to take a step backwards and learn it. No one wants the possibility that I can snatch a break. There's an art form to going out on a set of cold ass fucking hards into a race. And for example, like me, just trying to stay on a fucking lead lap. And now you have pressure on you and you get these cold fucking hards. That's what racing is. It's not having the car drive for you and you could just have a really, really good reaction time, and That's the issue. No one wants to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, unless they're forced to, and if left up to a poll, a lot of children will never want it to be a no assist league, and that race showed.
Yeah, but that's not up to them.
Right.
That wouldn't be like something that would be between drivers. That would be between kind of the admins, because obviously it's our league. It's not the as much like and obviously like we create the league for drivers and all that kind of stuff. But when making like big decisions like that has nothing to do with drivers.
Right.
But obviously, if you want to stay, that's absolutely fine. If you want to leave, that's absolutely fine. We've had many drivers come into this league, race one race, and then fuck off.
Or get kicked.
Right.
Get kicked, and then somehow find their way coming back. And then we have people like Bonch who find it.
And dude,
we like to leave and come back, leave, come back, leave, come back, which is
just a shop
that's
tip.
Bonch's decision. It's everyone's decision. If you want to join, then join. If you want to leave, then leave. Like there's one certain person which I'm not gonna name because I really can't be fucking arsed, and because we've had people probably know who I'm on about, but don't sign up for a league for like a full-time driver, and then when it comes to the first race, you're saying, "Oh, I can't race no more." What is the point of fucking signing up?
Right.
And it's like the last 2 race weekends, I guess. I got a message by a certain individual saying, "Oh, this person wants to race. Can she oh shit, I said it. Fuck. Can they be invited into the Discord?" I said yes, but it's the last time because I cannot be bothered dealing with people wanting to join and then not turning up. So I gave said individual an invite to the Discord. Did they turn up? No, they didn't. Did they turn up for the race? No, they didn't. It's not my fucking problem. Don't sit there and beg me for a Discord invite and then to race when you're not even gonna fucking turn up. Stop it. If you don't want to race, then don't race. It does not bother me.
Kieran, mate, do you need a therapist?
They were here for
Paper Stream's the therapist.
Got you.
So.
Ben is a licensed therapist.
It's like Monaco. Me and Bonge spoke about this earlier. And I think Bonge knows where I'm going.
Can I do this one? Can I do this one, please?
Yeah, go on.
If you are one of those little tiny bitches, you see the calendar, you look at Monaco, and you're like, nah, fam, nah, absolute ropes. I'm not going near that track because I'm too much of a pussy to set foot on that track. You can just get out now. I do not want you anywhere near my
hold on,
league.
bro, that's an easy solution. No. Easy solution. Beginning of the
16
season.
rounds of Monaco.
No, right. No. Hold on. No. This you could easily implement for next season, and I don't know why you wouldn't do it. This is what you do. When you put the calendar out, which a week or 2 or whatever it is before, there will be 3 races that are mandatory. If you don't show up,
Monaco's
you're out of
them.
the league instantly. Monaco's one of them. If you do
Singapore
not show up for Monaco,
someone else does it.
If you do not show up for Monaco, I don't give a fuck if
Without
your mom
good
has
reason.
cancer. You're out of the league for this season. I don't give a fuck. Monaco is mandatory. Period. Done. I don't give a fuck what you have going on. If you cannot commit now a month out, be mature enough to say, okay, what do I have going on? Can I show up that week? You're done. See us next season. Monaco is it. Monaco and fucking Singapore. I don't give a fuck. You're showing up to those 2 races. Fuck you. Period. Fucking faggots, yo. What the fuck? And if I was running a league, if somehow I took over, right, and you were like, fuck, Apollo's like, I'm just gonna race. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm stressed out. First season I ran it. Monaco mandatory. It will be in bold letters. When you sign up for this league, there are no excuse absences for that week. If you cannot commit now, literally type your name out, digital signature, do not sign up. Sorry. See you somewhere else. I'll see you in WR on the track. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah, Jack, you're racing Monaco. Fanny.
I mean, we haven't got no Monaco now, so...
Fuck.
I think he actually raced
Monaco.
Monaco, to be fair. Did he race Monaco? I can't even remember.
Who, Jack?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
3
he did.
points.
Yeah, he did, and he did all of 3 corners.
There you go.
Which is what he would have also done at Britain, but he decided to go and watch the Arsenal game.
That's another thing I was getting onto. Like, he decided to go watch a football game, which, by the way, they drawed. So I don't know why he bothered watching it in the first place. I mean, there's been times where I've either been league racing myself, or even doing commentary, and I've been like, in the background I'd have like a football game, like even if it's Norwich or if it's like Man United or whoever it is. Like if I want to watch it, I'm not exactly gonna stop like streaming just because there's a game on. I can do both at the same time. Obviously, like the actual football game itself will be in the background, and I'll look at it like when there's nothing like happening, or even like in between breaks or whatever. Like just because your beloved football team is on does not mean. Like I even messaged him saying like, do that shit again and then you're out, basically. Leave that alone, you little twat.
That's what I was saying to you earlier. I would have said it to him now. He's wasting a seat. Like, Joe is on his own, and he has been like the entire season. But then you had Adam come in as a reserve.
Adam
And
helped him more than Jack has the whole season.
Adam,
Adam's done one race.
well, he got a top 10 in the sprint,
Which would have been points.
which would have been
Well,
points,
obviously.
but only the top 5 score. I don't know where he
Lame.
finished in the feature, but I don't think he
Like
got
11th.
points. I was gonna say it was
Was
just
11th
shy of the
or
points.
12.
Actually, he got 10th because Southern Ping blew up on the final lap.
There you go then. Adam got
That's ridiculous
points on his first race as a reserve in the McLaren.
Funny enough, he was in Jack's car.
That's the thing. If you, because you alluded to it earlier. If you sign up for a league and then don't show up, that's just unforgivable. But then as well, if you have the fucking audacity to come in and be like, oh yeah, oh there's this reason that I can easily do it the exact same time as racing. It's like you had using Jack as the example. He had the race stream on his phone to have the Xbox
The football match on.
Yeah, the Xbox played the football match for him. Why couldn't he put the football match on his phone and race at the same time? It's not like you were gonna, like, Jack, if you're gonna watch this, mate, it's not like you would have got past turn 4 anyway, so you would have ended up watching it regardless. So if that's literally why I said to you earlier, you should give him a message and say, right, you're dropping down to reserve until you can prove to me that you're going to race week in, week out. Anyone who just shows up whenever they want to needs that message. Be like, right, listen, you've not shown up for the first 2 races as usual. If you don't show up for this next one, you're gone. Your seat's gone. You're back down to reserve until a new one comes up.
And
That
give me
needs
a
to
sandwich while you're at
be,
it.
even if people give an excuse or like a reason,
Oh yeah.
you only need like dedicated drivers in those seats. You know, someone like, you know,
What are you
Julian,
gonna
someone
be
like
busy
myself,
for 3 like weekdays?
like that are
3
gonna
week-
be
like,
here week
3
in,
Mondays
week
a row.
out. Like, you want fucking ultimate dedication. I chose my job that I started this week. I chose to have Mondays off so I can
Right.
still race.
And,
Because
and
it's
that's
like-
a lot of what I've done. I've taken days off when my schedule had switched last year. Now y'all probably gonna joke me for this one, but I'm going to put it out there. I actually took my vacation days to have the day off. So when I get heated,
Yes, lad.
when I get, so like I was actually taking 3 days off a week because I was taking that until they switched my schedule back, which was about like a month and a half later, you know, like I put in, you know, and like that's when I wasn't on like a salary position and I had to show up. So, you know, when I hear these kids, you know, and their bullshit, yeah, it gets, you know, when like I see guys like you, or you see like an Apollo, and everybody like that, like puts in the effort, and then you can't even show up, you know, then just don't even sign up. And my thing would be, and my suggestion would be, maybe starting next season, when you sign up, have it all typed out that when you check this off, you're agreeing to it. There's 3 mandatory races.
Sounds like contracts.
3 mandatory races. The opening race, the last race, the season finale, and Monaco. If you cannot commit now to those 3, you're useless to me. Because I want to have a great opener race, I want to have a great finale, and I want to have everybody at Monaco. And if you can't do that, you don't need to be a part of this league. Period. And if you miss those, it's instant boot. Even if you're the championship leader, I will boot you. You're done. Not even a fucking reserve. Not even a reserve. You're just done for the season. I'll see you next season if you want to show up. That's it. Those are the 3 that you don't get a chance on. The only excuse would be if you jumped into the lobby and when we got into the room, you just got booted because of your connection. That's not your fault. But if you just aren't going to show up, well, fuck you. And then furthermore, you get 1 excused absence. Except for those 3, you get 1 excused absence. The second one, you go down to a reserve. That's it. And it will correct itself, bro. That will correct it very, very quickly. And they'll whine and they'll bitch. And those fuckers will be gone, and new motherfuckers will come in, and that'll be the end of it, bro. That's it.
If I decided one day that I didn't want to show up on Monday, there'd be no stream.
Right.
That'd be unfair for like everyone that wants to like. I think I've said that. I don't think I've said it on a podcast, but like leagues that we've all been a part of, like DRL, when all those like races got deleted off YouTube, like. It didn't like upset me to the point where I was like, oh, crying like every day. But like, I used like every race, like I like when we were like racing, like every time I would go back and watch like some of the races that I won, like Brazil, like when I won from I can't remember where I started. I think I actually got pole that day, and I won from pole. And like I want to go back one day and watch that race back to give me that kind of kick up the arse that I need when I'm like starting league racing, blah blah. Because like you mentioned, like WR, like I'm only reserving that. Like next person that gets yeeted, then I get the step up.
Yeah.
And then I'm a full-time driver.
Here we go. Let's do it.
Which isn't that bad. I want hopefully the Haas driver gets yeeted, and then I can be paper streams.
Yeah.
Yes, Dad.
He's actually the tier coordinator. I don't know if he's going anywhere. He's all extra motivated.
Well,
apparently.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Fucking extra about this shit.
But like next season, like, I want like some things to change. Like, obviously, it'll be the short calendar as per usual, like we always do. Like on the second half of the game, like it's always a shorter calendar. I'm not sure how many races there is. I think there's around 16, give or take. I've already done the calendar, which I went through. I think last time. Was that the F2 calendar? I can't remember. But F2 calendar is actually done as well, actually.
Nice.
So everything's kind of sorted for next season. There's obviously, like every kind of year that we do, we have like a Christmas Cup, which we will have, which I'll like announce some things at the end. Or should I announce them now? Actually, I'll announce them now. So I basically was talking to obviously Gareth and Carl about kind of if they wanted to do like a Christmas Cup, which we have done. I think we did last year, and I think we did for the year before, if I remember correctly. Obviously, there's no classic cars, so we can't do classic cars. We already race F1 cars, so there isn't no need to kind of do that. And obviously, we have F2 coming up, so that kind of only leaves us with multiplayer cars.
That'll be fun.
Which we are going to be going with. So it's going to be multiplayer cars, but seeing as it's around Christmas, they have to kind of be like Christmassy themed. Obviously, I don't think they're gonna they'll probably have some sort of like kind of Christmassy liveries by then. But if they haven't, then kind of just make them into as Christmassy as you can.
Nice.
Best looking car gets like 10 points or whatever. Obviously, there'll be like a championship. I think what I said to them is. So it's mainly going to be at street circuits. So obviously you've got like Canada, Azerbaijan, Saudi Arabia, obviously Monaco. I guess would you count Russia as a street circuit? Because it kind of technically is. And then obviously you have all the other ones. If I've missed Singapore, obviously,
Australia's a street
and
circuit.
Australia. So all them, apart from one of them, which I haven't picked yet, which will be I don't know how many there is, so let's say there's like 6. We'll do a 6-round calendar. 5 of them it's going to be short qualifying. All the rounds will be short qualifying. Actually no, short qualifying for the start, and then it will be 25% races, and then the final race it's going to be full qualifying, and then 100% race,
Nice.
which will most likely be Monaco, because that's what everyone will probably pick. And yeah, I was gonna say that it'll be open to like only no assists, but seeing as we only have about 3 of them in the league, it's basically gonna
Wait.
be no point.
Hey, no, but hey, bro, I think you should do that shit though. Like,
That's because you can win a championship, then, isn't it?
yeah, right. You know, no, but you know what's funny though? Hold up. You know, a lot of these guys can still be pretty fast with it. They're just scared of the mistake, snatching a break or whatever. You know, like that would be fun. Just like my little race I did, I didn't win it. You know, so obviously you can still race. You know, you could still like it would just add some drama on something that's just what, I don't know how many races there are, whatever you said they were. You know, like that shit would be. I mean,
6 or 7.
tell these fuckers stop taking themselves so serious. Let's turn everything off and just have a Christmas cut. Let's go. You know, fuck, make all the races rain. I don't give a shit.
I wasn't just gonna announce like maybe like for like maybe a season down the line we like kind of do like obviously someone kind of maybe like a spectator would have to be host so no one kind of knows, but like maybe have like random weather like random as it is now, but like the person actually picks the weather for that specific race. So like say like for France you have like sunny at the start, dry, and then like right at the end you just have a downpour of rain, which
Nice.
to me doesn't sound too bad. But then you could have like races at like Abu Dhabi where it's supposed to be like sunny and all that. Well, it won't be sunny because it'll be dark, but like dry, but spice it up and make it a wet race. I mean, we've had rain there before in like a race, but obviously it never does anything because it just gets dried up so quickly. I mean, there's a lot of things that we could try, but like, it all kind of. If like we want to change it to a no assist league, then we'll be losing around like what 18 drivers, because everyone else use. Like, obviously, I know you don't. Bonge doesn't. I think Brad doesn't use.
I don't.
assists no more.
I don't think you'd lose that many. I don't think you
Pete,
would. I
Like
think
Joe.
Pete uses no assists.
Oh, okay, and Pete and Richard.
Yeah, but Richard's like 4 laps down within 10 laps anyway.
I think it's all in how you present it when it finally comes time to do it. I think you first present it to the people who are currently with your league, and then obviously you go off and you advertise to bring guys in. If you present it in a manner of, this is where we're going, whether you're with us or not, and some of you guys are very quick, and even if you now treat this as your, which a lot of people already do, as your second or third league, it would be great practice for you. It's only going to make you better in your other leagues where you use assists, but still show up and be dedicated and just have fun with it. And there's no reason for you to be a pussy and leave. If you do, then fine. But we are going this direction. I think you still have about 8 or 10 guys that are still going to show up, and then you just have to go and recruit. I don't think it's going to be just 3 of us left. I think a lot of guys will stay. You know, it's just they don't take us serious enough. You're too nice sometimes, man. You're just a super nice dude, and guys are like, well, if we whine enough, he's gonna pull back. And that's happened before, you know. So fuck you. No, I don't give a shit how much you whine. You can fucking leave. You know, like seriously, you know, like, you know, it's children. I mean, some of these guys are 16, 17. I mean, you know, like fuck them.
No, don't, because you'll end up going to prison.
Oh yeah,
Don't want to go to prison.
That definitely came out wrong. That definitely came out wrong.
My asshole's too tight for prison.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
American federal law enforcement officer goes to jail for making threats to children online.
Gosh. Goes to federal officer, goes to prison for wanting to fuck children. Damn, that's a bit too far.
Fuck them, you know. Nowadays, it only takes somebody to just take this damn stream and edit it up. See, he said that. He said it.
He said he wants to fuck kids.
Alright, step 2,
Shut
cancel him on
looking
Twitter.
ass mother.
Step 2, cancel him on Twitter.
Just like on this kind of subject of like Christmassy events, right? This all quite fun because it used to be a game with gold. Project Cars 2 was a game with gold, right? And so was Project Cars 1. Why don't we do a race? You know, it's like an hour timed race around whatever circuit you want. I know there's probably one around like ice or some shit. I think there's like the Mercedes ice rink or something. Have it snow.
yeah.
Like if you want Christmassy, you do a race in the snow. Like one of the
Yeah.
24 hours of Spa endurance races. 1 minute it was sunny, then it was raining, then it was snowing, then it was raining again.
Oh,
It's
but
like,
what have you done at like 3 o'clock in the morning?
Can we just
put
can we
every
just do
weather
that?
in?
Like, can we have a race in the like? It could be a legitimate circuit. We could go on like I don't know, like Imola or Silverstone or Spa or fucking wherever.
Portland.
Like, I mean, there's even Monaco on Project Cars 2. That would be funny.
Let's go.
Monaco, Project Cars 2, right? In like the Formula cars that they have, there's like 2 or 3 to choose from, and have it snow. That would be so fun. Like,
Yes.
there would just be a bit of a laugh. Like, it doesn't
Let's
really
go.
matter how many people show up. It doesn't matter. Like, that would just be a fun little
Fuck 'em.
Christmassy event to do. But yeah, they can't be asked
yeah.
to show up just for literally what would be a bit of fun. Fuck 'em.
No, they're children. You can't say that.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I can
My
say
bad.
that. I'll do what I want.
Have fun getting cancelled on
Cancelled.
Twitter then.
Couldn't cancel the fucking pre-order.
Oh shit.
Oh Jesus.
Lovely.
Alright, so what's the next subject?
Anyways,
Next topic.
Let's move on.
before Paper Sheen gets sent to prison for being.
Before
right.
me and Julian burst every blood vessel in our body because we have to talk about kids using assists.
Oh yeah.
Can we change it up?
Mandatory
Maybe if there's
cockpit.
anything you want to talk?
Um,
I mean, that's something that we could do technically,
what?
because I'm pretty sure you can lock a camera, can't you? In
I don't think
In
so. Yeah,
one-
really?
What on Project
I
Cars?
think you can. No, on F1.
No,
You
you
can
can't
lock
on
camera?
F1. You can on Project
Oh,
Cars. You
oh.
can't on F1.
We're just gonna move over to a Project Cars league now.
Oh, we tried that
I mean,
multiple
we've had that
times.
plan for absolute
plan for ages. I've still
Never
got
Dude,
the
I
draft
bought
of
that for you, motherfucker, and you didn't do nothing. The moment you said you was gonna do something,
Absolute
I bought
sacrilege,
it.
man.
I started practicing and everything. I was ready, but I was sweating it up for like 3 days, and then a week went by, 2 weeks, a month. I was like, this motherfucker, fuck you. And then you had your personal stuff. You had the health things. I was like, fuck him and his health. What the fuck? He's dying. Yo, fuck that. Fuck that.
You
Fuck
missed
that, where's my
Monaco.
Project Cars League.
I seriously
Oh,
bought that for you,
Jesus.
man.
I mean, we can always still do it because I mean, Project Cars 3 is basically dead. No one plays that.
Still in my game.
I mean,
There it
depending
is.
on what kind of league we want to do on Project Cars, because there's so many you can do. Like you can do like endurance, you can do like
Let's go.
Formula Fords.
Well, the only
Ooh, that'd
real
be dope.
for, like,
It is
if
in
you
a
were to
game.
go Formula, the only one I'd recommend is the Formula X car or the Formula Renault. Like, you wouldn't use the Formula A because
Renault.
it's literally an F1 car from like 2011. The Formula X car is kind of an F1 car, but it's a little bit more, like, it's a lot harder to control.
I need something
Do the
slow.
Renault one.
But yeah, Formula
Renault
Renault would
is
probably be perfect.
I
Or,
need slow cars.
that's pretty much it. Like,
But can't you only have like 16 people in like a lobby,
yeah.
and that's including two?
All right, we'll say we eliminate 4 pussies. I mean, whatever. Let's go.
Yeah, all of the nerds that use assists.
Everyone.
Not everyone.
We're
4
off.
people. 5 people.
Good. 5 people battle to the death. And we're all grown-ups, so we can't say fuck kids.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're not grown up.
Fuck off, I'm over 18, you prick.
Only just.
Let's go.
Physically, you might be. Mentally is another matter.
Yeah, mentally I'm like 6.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I
Okay.
see a chest on Fortnite, I gotta scream at the top of my lungs and do a dab.
You probably do.
Can't handle this child.
We've got around about 10 minutes to go.
10 minutes was it's 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Alright,
yeah,
yeah,
we
but
started
we-
5 minutes late, so fair enough.
All good.
So obviously we spoke about the Britain race. We kind of spoke about future plans, I guess. And obviously, Christmas Cup is done. That's pretty much it from what I've kind of got down. Obviously, if we want to finish a little bit early, that's fine.
No,
but,
we need to get to the hour
that-
mark.
Well, I suppose like the only other thing, just might as well keep it short, is the coming race at Kota.
Oh yeah. that's what
So
I
we got
said
this
earlier.
weekend. We'll have the United States GP. We got Verstappen leading the championship
By
just ahead
6
of
points.
just ahead of big man Lewis. Lewis is usually quite strong at Kota, but then you have tracks like Mexico and Brazil coming up where Max is proven to be stronger. So Lewis is gonna kind of have his work cut out for him to salvage this title. I'm hoping it goes down to the last race. Like, that's my main. I don't care who wins. Well, yeah, I don't really care who wins.
The one Max too. Apart from Max.
But I just like it to go down to the last race.
Where was the last time a season where I think it's 2000.
2016. 2016 went down to the last race. 2014 went down to the last race only because of double points. And then 2012, which was the best finale ever, was the last race.
When Fernando got held up.
That was 2010. But 2012
Oh.
was that Brazil race in the rain.
Well, when it finished under safety car, wasn't it?
And then until Monza 2021, that was McLaren Mercedes' last ever win. Until Monza this year. Which is a madness. So, yeah, we only got 6 races left.
It's gonna be
What are
great.
the two kind of new, I'd say two
It'd be
new
interesting to
tracks.
see 2 new tracks.
Well, yeah, because you got Qatar, which we've never raced at,
Oh yeah.
and then you got Jeddah, which is a completely new
those
circuit.
2 races, I don't know who will win. Like, because it's so kind of like fast, I have a feeling like Mercedes might do well, like Jeddah. But then I think at Qatar, I think Verstappen has his name written all over it.
I'm going to give a bit of a bold one here, especially for Jeddah, because it's such a fast circuit. I think
Leclerc.
McLaren are going to pull something out of the bag. McLaren have been really good in a straight line this year. So
Nah, Haas, mate. Haas are going to win their
Haas
first
can't
ever
even pull
race.
off the back row of the grid, let alone anywhere near anywhere else.
Nah,
Hey,
fuck
Mick
it.
got him to Q2,
George
Twice this
Russell.
season.
and then was last by like the end of
Yeah, you got spun by Fernando.
What a lad.
After
Yeah, bro,
Fernando
they
got
were-
spun by Pierre.
They weren't expected to do anything. I mean, that was all part of the master plan. They weren't expected to do anything this year. I mean, if like you look at what was either gained in spite of the regulation to cut off the 40% of barge board or floor plate or whatever, and you look at like the 2 front runners, and there's actually areas where they're faster at certain tracks, or where they kept a percentage of the performance that they were expected to lose. You know what I mean? Like, you were like, if Mercedes used last year's car, they would be easily a half a second behind this year's Red Bull. So, there was performance there. So when you take a Haas who was only ahead of Williams last year, and the stated plan was we're going to cut our spending by 40% this year and not do any kind of, upgrades throughout the year, and we're only going to put the new floor plate on. It's literally, they are physically last year's cars. They literally attached floor plates, and they were going to take that 40% budget. They're the first team to start on next year's car. They just put in, for the first time ever in their history, an actual performance director that actually had all the departments, and they sent 50 people over to Ferrari to kind of be hand in hand with them and whatever they're doing behind the scenes there. And then the Ferrari engine should be slightly better for next year. So Haas is taking a huge gamble on next year. And if he doesn't
at least get to 7th or 6th, I guarantee you he sells to Andretti Motorsport because they're very interested in getting an F1. They're going to buy Sauber out or they're going to buy Haas, but they will be in 2023. Andretti will be in F1. Period. Guaranteed.
Grosjean to return, confirmed.
Yeah. Oh no, he'll be involved. Trust me. There's a reason why they picked him up. There's a reason why he'll be involved. Maybe not as a driver, but he will be involved in that team.
He'd
Guaranteed.
probably be doing what JB's doing for Williams at the moment, just like a chief advisor or something like that. And he'll kind of help the drivers out here and there, help all the engineers doing this, that,
Who
and
are
the
we talking
other.
about here?
Grosjean.
Grosjean.
He spent more
Oh.
time in a concrete wall than he ever would in a management suit in a fucking team.
It wasn't even a concrete wall.
Oh
It
fucking!
wasn't even a
metal.
concrete wall. It was a barrier that was made out of metal.
Oh my god. I mean, I should have like sliced his head off, but I mean somehow, some way,
It's called the
Came
Halo,
away.
mate.
That's right.
the Halo's like saved a lot of lives in like the last kind of like.
Yeah, and people are
The
like,
Halo's
it doesn't
overrated.
work. It doesn't work. Shut up. Halo's great.
Let's think. Grosjean would have died. Hamilton would have had his head crushed.
Leclerc would probably be dead.
Yeah, he would have had his head
Fair
decapitated.
few F2 drivers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, you're saying let's not talk
Yeah,
about
like-
it, but it's in that literal incident, which I know you're referring to. 2 more people
Right.
would have been killed if they didn't have the Halo, because 2 bits of debris. One of them would have been Big Man Mick, and then the other would have been, I think, Jordan King.
Oh, what a shame.
but
What does he even do now? He doesn't do F2 now, does he?
what, Jordan King?
Yeah.
He's doing like GT racing, I think, or one of the something like that.
What a massive
Still up and about.
downgrade. I like to come to not iRacing.
You know, let's go
IndyCar.
to Y racing. Great.
Nice.
Because there was like talks of him then joining Alfa Romeo this like for next season, but I was just like, well, you can't do 2 things at once. I mean, I know like footballers can because there was a Man City player that did it, played for the main team, and then 2 hours later was playing for the under-21s like an absolute hero. But I mean, I don't think motorsport drivers can do that, especially if like F1s in like say Australia. Obviously, IndyCar go around America, so obviously that's where they'd kind of be. I'd like to see IndyCar kind of do like a global series
Yeah,
where they
it's,
go to like
they go down to
different
Mets.
countries.
I mean, they stay in North
See if you-
America, but
If you pulled your finger out here, Kieran, and you got PC leagues up and running, you can go onto a set of caution. You can make a worldwide IndyCar league.
ooh,
Now, why would I want to? I don't have a PC for one. I don't have the money to buy a PC.
yes, you do.
I don't. I have
your
literally.
your
I have
closets, mate,
£4.
are filled with stacks. Your secret underground drug business is doing you wonders.
Maybe
Yeah.
on GTA it is. But,
Exactly, just do that.
Real
Just
life.
use all the modded money on your GTA account. You got like billions. Just fucking use all that, mate.
I've only
That's
got
what you gotta
1 point something billion.
Yo, I need some money, yo.
The what
do.
billion?
man.
Billion is the
Oh yeah, I've
key
only got
word.
1 point something billion. I was like, yeah, cool.
It's not much.
Only.
Oh,
What are you,
yeah.
Vladimir Putin?
Compared to like what some people have on GTA, it's literally nothing. People have like hundreds of billions. I don't have that.
Imagine relying
And the
on
most I've
hacking.
had is like 2.6 billion. I never hacked. Someone just asked for my account and I gave it to them, and then they modded it. It's not my fault.
Someone asked
nice.
you for your account, and it's like, oh yeah, let's give it out. They're either going to steal my account and start ordering dildos to my house, or they're going to mod me a GTA account. Hopefully it'll be both.
Hey, it's a win-win.
Fucking win-win, mate. Oh yes, I'm now a billionaire and I've got a horse cock. Let's go.
It's like, who don't like cocks and fucking money?
Brad does it for free.
What?
Exactly. But I think it's time to.
Yeah, I think we've been here for an
And
hour
this-
and it's
yeah.
already, well, it disintegrated the moment we started because Brad's here, but it's disintegrated even more as the evening's gone on.
Anyways, that is it from us for another night. We will be back next Wednesday for episode 3, but obviously we will have the Hungarian GP in between that, which will have myself. I'm not going to say Light Shock will be there because I don't know if he will be, but I'll definitely be there, and you'll probably see these 3 non-assist users because they are goated.
Well, I'm not,
drive
the other
their
2
hearts
are
out.
not.
Yeah, you're shit because you make people leave the league.
Oh shit!
I'm joking. Before you start, no, it's a joke. Don't worry. He
No,
didn't
it's
actually.
not.
Oh, he did. But
Toxic.
So you definitely documented me. Shut up.
anyways, we will be back soon.
Finish it.
That's it from us, and goodbye.